After this, for example, let us say if I want to assemble this part in a assembly. So for this session I have directly created the assembly. I would just like to show the working, how the working is being performed. I would just like to highlight how the software is helping us to perform the animations also if we are using that part in a assembly. So this is the final assembly. Now in CATIA we have a separate environment called as assembly design for creating the assembly. For creating the assembly, here we have to make sure each and every component is being placed at the proper position in the assembly, and we have to make the assembly in the software by keeping in mind the degree of freedom. For example, this crankshaft is a rotating member, so when we are assembling it in the assembly, we have to assemble it in such a manner that after the final assembly is done, it should only rotate. So this is done with the help of assembly constraints. Now to perform the motion, again in CATIA we have a separate environment called as DMU kinematics, that is digital mockup kinematics. Now the first step is to create the mechanical joints for running the animation. So here we have an option in DMU kinematics toolbar, assembly constraints conversion. Here I will take new mechanism, OK, and then I have to click on auto create. Now after auto create, we can see here a message is there, unresolved pairs 0 by 6. It means when creating the joints, the software has recognized 6 mechanical joints, and after auto create all are successfully created. Suppose if for example if we get here 1 by 6 or 2 by 6, it means 1 or 2 joints are not created, and in that condition we have to go back and recheck the constraints in our assembly. Next, I have to provide the necessary rotation or translation values to make the animation feasible. Now here as we can see, crankshaft, connecting rod and piston, they are all interconnected. So for example, if I impart a rotary motion to this crankshaft, automatically the connecting rod and piston starts rotating. So here I can just go to this option revolute. Revolute means rotary joint. It is being created between the crankshaft and block. I will just double click it. Here I will activate the option angle driven, and the value will be minus 362 plus 360, means it will rotate anti-clockwise minus 360 and clockwise 360. So I will say OK. Here the message is the mechanism can be simulated, means I have successfully created the mechanism. Now for simulating the mechanism, I have to go to simulation in DMU generic animation toolbar, and then again I have to input the value of the limit. Here we have to make sure that we have to input the highest value, that is 360. And now for running the animation we have to follow some steps sequentially, like automatic insert, insert and animate point. So what these steps are doing, these are basically adding this value in this particular animation to make it run. Again, if while the animation is going on, I would like to see the motion going clockwise and anti-clockwise both, I can switch to bidirectional loop mode. And for controlling the speed, here we have the option of interpolation steps. So for example, if we want the mechanism to run slowly and smoothly, we can reduce this value, for example 0.02, and then we can play. So now as we can see, the animation is running. We can also capture this animation in the form of the movie file if required. One more thing, while running the animation, for example, if we want to check if any interference is coming in the assembly, it's very important, because if the interference is there, then while the assembly is functioning, it may get damaged or wear out easily. So for that, here we have an option of clash detection. We have three options: clash detection off, the default option; clash detection on. If I check it, we can see here a small red zone getting highlighted. So this shows that this connecting rod is getting interfered while rotating in this particular slot. So the dimension of this particular hole or the overall width of this connecting rod needs modification. Again, if I take clash detection stop, then as soon as the clash occurs, the animation will stop. Again, for example, if I click here on edit sensors, and let us say, for example, if I select this revolute 3 option and I go to sensor observation, so here you can see the per second value is getting displayed in this particular column. So by default, the animation is run for 10 seconds, but if we want, we can also modify the animation in time. So to conclude, here we have seen that starting from a simple 2D drawing, we have created a part model. Then again, we have created a assembly. In assembly, we have also seen the animation. Again, I would like to mention that in CATIA, for example, if you are using any part in the assembly, if you are making changes in the part, then automatically those changes are getting reflected in the assembly, and vice versa is true. This is bidirectional associativity. So thank you for listening.